So the Department of Home Affairs has welcomed the withdrawal of an application seeking to challenge its decision not to renew the Zimbabwean exemption permits. The African Amity NPC and Zimbabwean Permit Holders Association took on the South African government in a bid to halt the decision, while the other organization has withdrawn. The Zimbabwe Permit Holders Association say they haven't given up the legal fight with government. The association's advocate Simba Chitando is in studio with me this morning to help us get some clarity on this matter. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. What do we need to understand about this latest development? What exactly is happening?
Morning. Thank you for having me. The Zimbabwean Exemption Permit Holders Association has not withdrawn. African Amity has withdrawn on the grounds of intimidation by some of its members, and for that reason decided not to proceed with the case. My instructions from the ZEP, ZEPA, the Zimbabwe Exemption Permit Holders Association, is to proceed with the case. The Minister was aware of that and is aware of that. We regret the press statement that he sent out because he knew that we were going to proceed. He received a replying affidavit from us this week at the same time that he received the withdrawal from African Amity. The withdrawal from African Amity doesn't automatically mean all the other applicants have withdrawn. And that is why we are unhappy and why we've had to come out and say that we have not withdrawn. We're proceeding. He knows that. He's received the replying affidavit. And now we shall be proceeding to apply for a court date and request for an expedited hearing.
And the other non-government organizations that were very vocal about this, the Helen Suzman Foundation also included in this, are they still also continuing?
As far as I'm aware, they are continuing. We have been in contact and have throughout the process with the Helen Suzman Foundation and others. They've got their own application that they've made, and I don't see them withdrawing their application either.
Sure. Let's talk about what is contained in your papers that you filed, right? So a lot is being said about the African Continental Free Trade Area and it largely hinging on the free movement of persons on the continent.
That's right. Not just the African Free Trade Area, but also the bilateral investment protection agreements that South Africa has with Zimbabweans. It envisages a promotion of trade, business, and between the two countries and the region. And we find that the minister's decisions and the cabinet's decision-making policies are inconsistent with those agreements that they've entered into, and it is very disappointing. It is part of the argument that we shall be making in court.
Another argument that has been made by the Department of Home Affairs, or the Minister, is the cost to South Africa for all of this, saying that, well, we simply cannot afford it. Help us with the maths, right? So what is it that somebody pays to apply for, a permit in South Africa?
The allegation that the states South African government cannot afford the ZEP is totally incorrect. I'll tell you why. ZEP holders, when they applied for the ZEP, were paying just over 1,000 rand per application. That is successful and unsuccessful applications. And we're talking about 176,000 or 180,000 individuals that successfully got it. And before the ZSP, it was about 200,000 people. So we know that the state has received, or through VFS where they applied, received hundreds of millions of rands. In their papers, they say it costs 146 million. So the maths doesn't add up, and it is part of our argument. ZEP holders have paid far more than what the minister says it costs for the exemption process. This is according to their court papers. They also said that National Treasury offered them 15 million rand for the ZEP. We know that ZEP holders are prepared to pay for the further applications going forward. So yeah, the maths doesn't add up. ZEP holders are prepared to pay if there's a valid process for applications. At the moment, we don't think there is. The minister's asking ZEP holders to migrate to visas that they just simply could not qualify for. The critical skills list is so curtailed that not many people can qualify, you have to be a brain surgeon to be successful in many of these applications. So, no, it is not. It is definitely affordable, and the minister is making it difficult for people to migrate to mainstream visas.
The extension for the applications, we now know, is the end of this year. I mean, what happens with people then who are not able to fulfill this?
Well, that's why we're going to court. If we want to, if people don't meet the deadline, they become illegal, undocumented migrants. They become unlawful in the country. And we're fighting for them. We're fighting to get a court order that assists them. So yeah, it all hinges on the judiciary now, because we know that the executive is not a friend of the ZEP holders.
Are you getting any assistance from the Zimbabwean government?
No, we're not getting any assistance from the Zimbabwean government.
Are they not concerned about the situation? What has been the level of consultation?
There was a meeting between the Zimbabwean ambassador and the ZEP holders. I was part of that meeting, and he made comments there that are well documented.
Do you mind sharing those comments? Unfortunately, we're not privy to them.
He made some comments there. I don't want to speak for him, and I don't want to speak for the Zimbabwean government, but there has been contact. But at the moment, the ZEP Holders Association are alone in this matter.
Mm. How far are you willing to go in this matter? Are you in it for the long haul?
For the distance, absolutely. We're going to go the distance.
Thank you very much for joining us. Advocate Simba Chitando is with the Zimbabwe Exemption Permit Holders Association, and they have not dropped their challenge for the South African government in the courts. Thank you.
Thank you.